We finally had our first barn get-together since 2023 when we first started renovating it. The dust has settled and things are looking and feeling great around here. In this video, I'll take you around the yard and barn as we get it ready for this casual get-together. If you're new to my channel, I'll link our barn renovation playlist at the end of this video if you're interested. Hope you enjoy.
Is that not going to find a wall?
Yes. What in the world? It looks like a room. It's hard to believe that I haven't posted on YouTube since my last barn cleanup, which was last March. Somehow 2024 and most of 2025 was we were just wanting to get the barn where it was cleaned up and we could just settle down with everything that we've done to it in the last year. Once this storage was built, I could finally get a plan and a clear-cut idea of where I wanted to store things. And I decided the wood will go upstairs and then all the tools and everything else pretty much is going to go in this storage room. And boy, was it easy to fill up. It did not take that long. All right, so I got all that side of the barn. We did the bar. We set that whole area up nice. Now, last February, I put all this wood here. And now it's getting in the way because we have a barn storage right there. And we also have the storage upstairs, which is where I'm gonna bring the wood to the far hayloft up there. But I was just too lazy last year because we had so much going on. So now I'm gonna take all this stuff and all these chemicals and stuff, and I'm gonna move them into the storage room first. That's all gonna go in the storage room. Then these fishing rods. And then I'm gonna move all this wood, since it wasn't used, up to the hayloft. Little at a time, so that we can have this aisle to bring things from there to the storage room. And this aisle is also where the tractor goes and the lawnmower. So this stuff is kind of getting in the way in this aisle. And I also think it would look nice if this wasn't here. All right, so it's about 3 hours later and I got all the chemicals into the storage room. And then Gary and I will move these bigger pieces because I can't do that on my own. They're a lot heavier. And I have this stair, and then I've been going up these stairs and then through there over to the hayloft. So it's looking very good. Now what I ended up doing was I was pulling up these boards because these were back in the back with nails in them. And there's a bunch of mint back here. And so this is where he moved the tractor and the mower for now. And so I'm trying to pull up that mint so it's easier to pull in and out. So that'll have to do for now. I've got a wheelbarrow full and I'm done for now. I will be back to finish this. So our courtyard area needed some help. So we had a lot of mint growing and just weeds everywhere, even though we planted these trees a few months before. So we had to make this look nice. Pull out all the weeds, pull the mint out, and get some mulch down. All right, so this has all been weed whacked, and now all the weeds have been weed whacked out of this section and pulled up, and over here too. So now I'm just gonna use this preen. I'm gonna put it all through here and then put some mulch, some of that pine straw mulch over there, down between these trees. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so the mulching is finished, but there's a mess left behind. So we'll get that later, but I'd like to do water. This is gonna be the water area, or like an outdoor kitchen kind of area, or where you put tables. And then sink. And then I have to get more preen to preen here, and then do mulch there. And then I did mulch all the way to there. Now I just have to get more preen for that area, or for just that area, and mulch that. The courtyard area came to life after Gary, my husband, and his buddy Eli put these lights up. Once we got all the barn cleaned up, we just kind of backed off a little bit and let it be, let the dust settle, and then decided to have our first gathering in the fall. So I got my fall decorations done. I worked on this a couple weeks ago. Some corn stalks we got from Big Country. Our old service manager at Skyworks, and we got just some pumpkins that Gary brought from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and I just kind of threw them on there and keep using those scarecrows. We've used those for years now. They're on their last leg, I think. Okay, then down here is where we're just doing our first barn bonfire get together. I'm gonna show you over here our little fire pit that Gary put together very nicely. We had a big, huge fire pit over there that we used for burning stuff, but he got some straw bales and he's got the wood all stacked up. So anyway, I'll go down there and show you what our fire pit looks like. Oh, it looks like we have got a kitty. I call him Bangs because it looks like he's got bangs. And he just kind of shows up in our yard. And I think he takes care of any mice that might be down in the barn and stuff like that. So we're grateful for this kitty. So Gary did some bush hogging up here and it looks pretty darn good. So let's go look at the fire pit. He also mowed, everything's prepared, mowed, weed whacked. And then over here is the wood that he stacked up and the straw bales, fire pit. Now let's go check out the barn and see what that's looking like. Over there, that looks nice. We planted these trees over here, these green giants. And so those are growing pretty darn good. We had a lot of rain this year, so they're looking good. All cleaned up. Thanks to our wonderful neighbors who came and did some bush hogging and tree limb, low-hanging tree limb cleaning up. So looks very nice. When you come down the hill, you'll see our pond and it's full of duckweed. We want to clean this up and put a nice fountain in it and make it look nice. But right now it's been bush hogged, so it looks really good. We used to have horses boarded here and all kind of animals, so we'll eventually get some horses boarded here again, just a few. weather is so beautiful. I'm so grateful. Over here we've got things kind of set up over here. I put that there so people don't trip. And in here, so here's a little glimpse of our bar area with the lighting that Gary put it all up. And then over on this side, it's just like an open area where we'll end up having music right here at these stools. And Gary and Eli put some beautiful lights above it just to bring the ambiance. And it just looks gorgeous. Okay, so a couple things we did ahead. Well, they got these coolers ready with drinks and ice. They're working over here.
There's one,
Cheers.
3.
And then I just took pledge and just wiped down these stools. I just cleaned up the kitchen. It is one of the most beautiful fall days. Oh, it's just, there's nothing like it. No summer day could ever compare to one fall day, ever. It's just heavenly. Something way different about it. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway. The cornbread's looking really good. This one's looking a little brown, so I'm gonna put some foil over it. Just like we have the crock pot. So I'm just gonna put them on maybe high for 2 hours. And then get all my toppings down here. First, I'm gonna do the cornbread. Okay, so now I've got my cornbread. It's about 2:40 p.m. and I've got Fritos, crackers. This is where I'm gonna put the dry stuff. All right, so 3 o'clock, I turn this on high, okay? It starts at 5 to 9, so I'm gonna start there. Okay, yeah, we got plenty. Yes, we got plenty of chairs. Now, I'm gonna put the snacks on this along with some cornbread. I'm gonna cut the cornbread. This is the plain cornbread, and I think I'm gonna put it in this along, and I'm gonna cut the jalapeno next. All right, that's all the plain cornbread. Now we're gonna cut this. Then I have the little mini cornbreads I made. So I got this covered up. Those, and now we're gonna cut the jalapeno. I went a little cornbread crazy, so if I do it all over again, I would just make these and not cornbread. But this is the jalapeno, this is the regular. And then, yeah, next time I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so this is where the cornbread muffins are, and then the Fritos, and then oyster crackers. Now I'm just gonna cover it up. Okay, so we have this kind of set up a little bit. And then we have, oh, and I put the hot dog buns, marshmallows, and all that there. The chili is on low now. Okay. And we got Brad and his buddy over here. But this gathering, we've got our buddy Brad King. He'll play guitar. And then we invited Skyworks equipment rental people. So it's basically just like a work party. Then we just basically made it like a big chili potluck. I made so much chili. And I'm getting these hot sauces, just the ones we have. Ketchup, mustard, and then I need relish for hot dogs.
Was the day I took you that way, the course. The day I took the first step, getting myself free to make sure your love is pure as love, the way it's supposed to be. But my feet,
I would have had all this stuff already in here yesterday. The cheese, the dip, sour cream. hot dogs, this coleslaw. All this stuff would have been here already. Cornbread, the crock pots.
Sweet mama, daddy's got them deep mellow blues. I said, oh, sweet mama, daddy's got them deep mellow blues.
So here, just this past weekend, my husband and I cleaned up the barn and got it prepared for our neighbor who was hosting a Dolly Parton costume party for her work group. And so my husband blew the leaves out of the barn, and, you know, we worked together to just clean it up and make it look nice, mostly picking up. This is the bar that was built last year, and then this new addition here is my husband's childhood table. And then we added 3 rugs that he brought home. I was like, we need some rugs just to kind of cozy it up. I was actually just thinking of a rug for the music area, but then he found 3. So I really like the way it looks. out here up at the overhang of the barn, you'll see up in the eave where my dad hung this hay fork. And he found it in the other side of the barn, I believe, and then decided he was going to hang it, up here with the scissor lift that Gary had brought home. And he also attached a rope to it, so I think you can move it or maneuver it. And then he put lights around it. It's just amazing to me. I have no idea how he did this, but it was a lot of work. I do know that. You see the lights around it, how beautiful that looks. And then I went back and took photos of it, and I just thought it was the most beautiful thing ever. Every time my dad comes here, he ends up doing something. Like this door handle, he hung that. He ends up putting some creative touch on our barn. He did the stair railing a year ago before that. And then a lot of the barn decor at the bar is from him. And then we still have a lot of other things to hang and put up around the barn that he gave us. So, because he's got his own barn. So if you see on this channel, you can see my dad's barn. I will link everything barn at the end of this video on a playlist if you want to check out what this barn used to look like when we first started a couple years ago. And you can also see my dad's barn in that video as well. Hope you enjoyed this though, but I will link that at the end of this video.